In order to say what time it is in Spanish, for the most part, we're going to always start with the words son las. Now, the only exception to that is when it's 1 o'clock, and we'll get there in a minute. So if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, or any of the minutes in between all of those, you're going to start with son las. So if it's 2 o'clock, you just say son las dos, and that means it's 2 o'clock. Son las once, because once means 11, that means it's 11 o'clock. So really simple as that. Now, if we say son las cuatro, 4, which means and, doce, which means 12, we are saying it is 4 and 12. So it's 4:12. So if you want to say the minutes after that main hour, you just add them in. You just have to know how to say the numbers. And if you look on this chart, I actually gave you a sheet that has how the translations for all the numbers. Okay, so you get that. Son las tres y diez is 3 and 10, so it's 3:10. Okay, so that's the basics for how to say what time it is. Now, when it's 1 o'clock, because 1 is singular, we know es, we're using the verb ser. So son is for plural, right? That's the form for ellos and ustedes, so they. And then it, the singular, is es. So if you want to know the logic behind it, that's why. So when it's 1 o'clock or any of the minutes past 1 o'clock, if 1 is that first number, you're going to start with es. So es la 1 y 15, 1 and 15, and so on. Okay, so that's how you tell time. Now, there's some extras that you can use. You can use just this information to say all the times you want. Okay, but you can do some of these extras that might help you to get a little bit fancier with it. So like you can say half past. So instead of saying it's 12:30, you can say it's half past 12, right? And so if we say son las tres y media, media means half. So son las tres y media means it's half past 3. But if I said son las tres y treinta, because treinta means 30, then that would also mean the same thing. Okay, so tres y treinta is 12 and 30, and tres y media is still 12 and a half. So son las tres y media or son las tres y treinta. Hopefully that makes sense. Same thing with a quarter to. This one gets a little tricky because you're minusing. So if you want to say like it's a quarter to 5, you need to say it's 4:45. So you need to say it's 5 o'clock minus a quarter. It's a quarter to 5, which would make it 4:45. Okay. A quarter after is y cuarto. De la tarde means in the afternoon. De la noche is at night. And de la mañana is in the morning. And you can put any one of these 3 phrases after it if you need to indicate what time of day it is. All right, so we're going to give this a try together. If you want to keep watching the video to practice along with me, these are all the numbers. So we're going to scroll past this. We can look back to it for reference. So here are some clocks to practice with. Okay, so we can do these together. So remember, we're always starting with son las since it's not 1 o'clock. And we know that 12 is, look right here, doce. And it's not 12 on the dot, so there's an and in here. And we can either say treinta, or we can say son las doce y media, right? Because it's half past. Now we want to say it's 11:49. So first we're going to start with son las because it's not 1. So it's 11. So we're going to find 11 up here on the chart. Once. And, right, y. And now I can say 49. So I'm going to say cuarenta. And that's right here. So cuarenta is 40. And it's right here as well. 40, cuarenta. Y nueve, which is 9. Now, if you wanted to get fancy, you could say son las doce menos once. It's 12 o'clock minus 11, right? So that is one other way you could say it. But stick with the first one. If that second way is confusing, stick with the straightforward way because you'll never go wrong. Okay, so 6:31. Son las treinta y uno. Can't use media here because it's not 30, it's 31. And as soon as it's not exactly halfway, we have to actually just say the number. It's 12:15. Son las 12:15. Or you could say it's a quarter after 12. Son las 12:15. And then the last one, son las, and 7 is siete, and then 17 is 17. Okay, and if it was 1 o'clock, we would just say es la una. If it was 10 after, we would say es la 1:10. So I don't have a clock like that on here, but all right. Hope that helps. Feel free to use these notes on the test.